one of my subscribers actually requested this video. One of my subscribers wanted this video, okay? And that's why I'm bringing these to you. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you clicked on this video, then you know what's up. Today we're talking about two palettes that were very popular in the summer. One will be the Take Me Back to Brazil by ViiLuxx Cosmetics, and the other one, the NYX Ultimate Bright palette. As you can see, there is a huge size difference, and I can actually honestly say that's kind of quality difference as well. So the first thing I want to talk about today are the prices for this palette. This one I got I think for about $18–19, and then this one I got for about $17. As you can see, there is a huge difference in the size for it to be $1 difference. So first thing first, I want to point out, on my left eye, I actually did this eye look using the Take Me Back to Brazil palette. This is that. In the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, I used these two purples down here, and this hot pink shade, as well as this orange. The first thing you notice when you open the palette is that there are, I believe, 35 pans in this palette, which is a lot. The pans aren't that big. To give you guys an idea of how big these pans are, this is a Wet n Wild shader brush from Walgreens, and when I dip into the pan, you can see it basically takes up all the pan space, so it's not such a huge pan. Another thing you may notice as well is that each color scheme has at least one shimmer color. I prefer mattes, but if I was to use a shimmer, I'm glad that I have that option. The colors that I did use, I didn't really get any fallout, which is a good thing, especially for the price. For the colors on this palette to be extremely pigmented and not to get any fallout for $18–19 is like a steal. So yeah. Now, going into the NYX Brights Ultimate palette, there's obviously less shadows in this palette. There are 16 pans on this palette. I used this purple, the magenta, hot pink, and this light purple right here. I think it's pronounced lilac, not sure about that. I did do a video previously that I will link down below with this palette, and some of these colors just were not buildable. For instance, I know you can't mix a cool tone color with a warm tone, so blue and orange, but at the same time I still want to kind of blend without looking muddy, and it looked extremely muddy. So that was my con about this. Also, this palette only has 3 shimmers. It'll be this light green, teal, and the red one. Those are only 3 shimmers in the palette. So if you're a person who wants the option to have shimmer eyeshadows, this palette is not for you. These pans are, I would say, average size pans. Compared using this brush to show you, it doesn't take up the entire pan, so I would say this is an average size eyeshadow pen. The eyeshadow case is pretty sturdy. I have actually dropped this eyeshadow once or twice before, and as you can see, none of the eyeshadows have cracked. It's kind of scratched up. Other than that, it's a really nice, cute, and compact eyeshadow palette that you can just throw in the bag and go. So I would consider this a travel size eyeshadow palette. I was surprised with both these, but honestly I was really surprised with this ViiLuxx Cosmetics palette. Like I said, the colors picked up really well with my brushes. I use synthetic brushes and goat hair brushes. This palette is definitely a palette to put in your collection. Now, I also do like this palette, but I would prefer the Take Me Back to Brazil palette over the NYX Ultimate Brights palette, just because the colors don't really blend well. Some of these colors are hard to blend, especially this orange can be hard to blend. I have used this light blue in the past, and it's kind of patchy, honestly. But other than that, every other color that I have used, excluding this red because I never used it before, does show well, and it's highly pigmented as long as you're packing on the colors correctly. If I was to compare this palette to other drugstore palettes, this palette would be This palette would be an 8 compared to other drugstore palettes. Let's compare this palette to other drugstore makeup palettes. This palette will probably get an 8 or a 9. It's that good, honestly. So if I was to recommend a palette to buy if it was your last $20, I would definitely recommend the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, mainly because you get so many colors for the price. They're extremely pigmented and they build well. Alright, so if you guys found this video helpful in any way, make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Make sure you also leave a comment down below telling me what kind of videos you want to see next, if you would like for me to compare any other palettes. And then yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.
Feelings, cause that hit you in your chest. I'm steady winning, now they think I'm doing business with